in-ring promos, he tries to have this like deep
voice.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just you sounded totally normal 10 minutes ago.
Obviously, we're talking about Judgment Day. You mentioned Damian Priest there in that kind of role. We saw his performance at Backlash. Absolutely fantastic. What did you think of that match between him and Bad Bunny?
Should have main evented.
100%.
One of the best, just one of the most fun matches I've watched in a super long time. Bad Bunny, he got something against Damian Priest. I know they're supposed to be friends. He swung that kendo stick like they were not friends. And honestly, Damian Priest's selling and acting in that match was like so good. Like it was almost like Eddie Guerrero level of the like, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. And you felt like he was genuinely getting injured from Bad Bunny, which is, could be something that maybe a wrestler doesn't want to swallow their pride and look super weak against a celebrity. Bad Bunny had no problem doing that. And I think it made for the match to be 10 out of 10. And I think that Damian's also another guy that could be in line for a world championship opportunity.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think that match was literally sports entertainment at its finest. Like, there's wrestling, there's technical wrestling, there's the Danielsons and all of that of this world, which we absolutely love as well. But sometimes you just need some funny nonsense. And this was it at a very high level, overbooked, but still brilliant. Yeah. And of course, we saw the likes of Carlito make a return, which popped the crowd big. Savio Vega, obviously, these are all like Puerto Rican legends related to the Colon family, which are big out in Puerto Rico, their wrestling heritage. So Damian Priest obviously had the role with Bad Bunny in the ring of like the conductor and making sure everything went okay. I thought this was perfect, and we knew that, from a month ago or so, this was going to be his WrestleMania moment. This is his WrestleMania main event, if you like. The fact they're doing this in Puerto Rico, and they trusted him with it, and he delivered. And a lot of the talk coming out of this weekend, the officials, whoever they may be, WWE officials, higher ups, this, that, and the other, are very high on Damian Priest, and I guess they put him in a position of responsibility with probably the biggest star on the planet in terms of music right now, anyway. Yeah. So, and he delivered, and even the following night or 2 nights later, he had his match, the qualifying match of the World Heavyweight Championship, was still out there selling the injuries and all of that kind of stuff. We got this new world title. Do you think Damian Priest is the next big thing within WWE, their next big project that they could really tap into?
I think he's certainly one of them. I think when he had that US title run, I saw him as a world champion.
Yeah.
And then like we were doing NFL draft to wrestler comps, and there was like a player named Miles Murphy who was like, had this great 2021, and just for some reason 2022 just wasn't their year. And I think that was kind of, I compared him to Damian Priest. Like 2021, I was like, this dude was like one of the 5 biggest. I mean, he's not a young guy really, but like one of the fresher wrestlers in WWE. And then 2022, he just kind of went to the background a little bit. And now I think that it's almost like WWE forgot a little bit of how good Damian Priest was. And now they're like, oh yeah, that guy's, why aren't we like looking at him as world champion? And I think with his, like the way that he looks, people will talk about the way that he will fumble over words. I kind of also like in the last couple weeks when him doing the Bad Bunny program, he hasn't been fumbling on his words because he'll go from English to Spanish in the same way that Eddie would do or the same way that Ray would do. And it seems like that makes him a little bit more comfortable. And like Claudio's always said, like when I'm speaking English, it's like my 4th language. So sometimes I can fumble on the words. I think that makes Priest a little bit more comfortable on the mic. I think he's fine on the mic. I think that they do need to stop. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but in his backstage segments, he sounds completely different than in-ring. In-ring promos, he tries to have this like deep
voice.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just you sounded totally normal 10 minutes ago. But once that's resolved, I think he has everything, especially like, I don't know exactly what the Triple H guy looks like because I think it's been too early. And there's also Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Karrion Kross, so that doesn't really fit. But I think if there's that Vince guy, he's one of those Vince guys that it looks like he has everything. So I don't know why he wouldn't be one of those next big things.
Yeah, you're bang on with the whole, giving him the US championship more or less once he came up from NXT, if I remember correctly. He had a great run, pretty extended run for that time, because we know previously they didn't really care about these mid-card belts. So he done pretty well, dropped it, and then they forgot about him for a while, reheated him, turned him heel, and then he got involved with the Judgment Day stuff, and he's been smashing it ever since. The way I see him now, he is almost like, and I don't know how you feel about this comparison, how the listeners will feel about this comparison, but I feel like he is almost what Baron Corbin should have been.
That's good. That's a good comp. Yeah.
Because Baron Corbin, he came up with even like a similar aesthetic and everything like that. But I don't know, people just hate him. And I think Baron Corbin is good. Like,
I love Corbin.
Yeah. So it's really harsh how I feel the general perception of him has been. I mean, ever since Triple H has come in charge, he's literally been binned. He's been sidelined and hardly been on TV, which is a very big shift probably for him, for someone that was always used and always booed and always involved in something. Yeah. Damian Priest is somewhat similar in the comparison of stature, physical stature, how they both perform. But for Damian Priest right now, it's working, and I'm trying to think, where did Priest go right and Corbin go wrong, and I'm not sure if I can quite pull it out. But what do you think?
I think low key it was that they figured out that Corbin could be funny, and they were like, let's go super hard with this, and then they were like, let's just keep Corbin as the funny guy, and I think that they've just kind of forgotten, because I know when he did the whole general manager stuff, it was like, oh yeah, he's actually like really confident on the mic, he's really good in this stuff, and he can be funny, and then it almost kind of became a detriment to him, because he's like, you're not actually letting me do what I do best, because it's almost like his versatility is a crutch for him, which is kind of sad. And maybe Priest isn't exactly more comedy, and maybe that helps him a little bit because he's remained serious.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But yeah, it looks like Damian Priest, it looks like they've got big plans for the guy. He could be someone that they see as, like, again, maybe just tag team for now, help with Dom along the way. Could be someone that could, really challenge Gunther for that IC title.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Or, like we're saying, I don't think at this point it'll be a stretch to say he could be world heavyweight champion of the this new title, and how things have been going for him. So it's been a good 2023 for him so far. Yeah,
I didn't even think about something that could be a feud. I really like the tag team idea. I think him and Dom being tag team champions would be phenomenal. But I also think that we could have something like a Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, because Drew's on Raw, he's chilling right now, and that could be a really fun, really good feud for both of those guys.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of rumors right now that Drew is possibly on his way out at the end of the year, which I said it on Twitter. WWE should do everything they can do to keep Drew McIntyre.
Of course.
Like, this is someone that I've seen firsthand. I went to Cardiff. I was lucky enough to do press when we done Clash of the Castle, and Drew McIntyre was working. And I know they all have those kind of schedules, and they're going to here and there on this show and all of that kind of stuff. But literally seeing Drew McIntyre around the city of Cardiff working, I said, no, you don't throw away someone like this that is so committed, that probably would have known all weekend, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not winning. I'm not beating Roman for this title, but I'm still here. And that whole show was basically built off of Drew's back.
Yeah.
His big story, and him finishing his story, which he didn't. But I don't think by any means Drew should leave. Drew should maybe have little programs with Dom and Finn and go through them, and then Damian Priest gets the big scalp and gets the big win to really show that he's arrived. He's beaten someone that's been a WWE champion, a main eventer. If they're gonna pass over the mantle to Damian Priest in some way, shape, or form, I think he needs those big wins.
Yeah, Drew would be a massive one. I mean, I think that they had that idea with Karrion Kross with Drew, and then that just kind of didn't work. I think Priest is actually the guy that it could work with.